Hey guys, Apprentice Alex here, and today I'm working in my home finish shop here. Yes, it's a mess, I'm aware, but yeah, anyway, today I'm just gonna be doing some work, day in the life of the bladesmith type stuff, but more focused on the grinding, the finish type stuff, and yeah, I think I'm gonna go over 2023. Happy New Year, everybody! Welcome to 2024. How's this year going to be? I don't know, but hopefully it'll be a good one for everybody. I'm wishing everyone the best. Anyway, I want to go back over through 2023, some of the highs and the lows, and mostly focusing on the highs, to be honest with y'all, because I think that the world needs some more positivity in it, especially these days. Anyway, also going to talk about some goals and aspirations for 2024 and see how things go. Anyway, I'm gonna start getting to work, and I'll pause here and there, start going over various things. I'll be doing most of my work today, I think, with my nice Grizzly 2x72 here, the G1015. I do want to do a video talking more in depth about this machine, because I think that for the price they're asking for it, it's phenomenal. Do I wish it had a speed controller? Sure. Other than that, great machine, especially if you're just starting out and you have the budget to get a 2x72. I'm also going to do a video on the Harbor Freight 2x28 that I have. That's, I think, probably the best first grinder for anybody. Getting in here, just all factors even. So that's going to be something that I have planned. Already talking about plans for the new year. Who knows if I'll actually get them done, because I am horribly ADHD, and yeah, sometimes I hate editing video. That's the other thing. Anyway, though, I'm going to get to work here, and like I said, I'll pause and I'll go through and talk about some projects and various things happening. Anyway, let's get to work. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about 2023. Man, a lot of shit going down in 2023, let me tell you. It was, I think one of the big highlights from the smithing perspective got to be going to Blade Show for the first time. Such a terrific experience. Meeting a bunch of the smiths that I really look up to. Shout out to John Norwood from Old Hickory Forge. Great dude, wicked fun guy to have a beer with. Dennis Tyrell from Tyrell Knife Works, so awesome dude. He and my teacher Bear from Old World Ironworks, they've had a lot of correspondence online, chatted that way, and it was really nice to get to meet him in person. Again, just terrific human being. Really happy I finally got to meet him. Meeting Jesse Who, the Gladiators of the Forge champion, getting to chat with him about that, and talking about our shared experience on that unique sort of Forge and Fire, although obviously his experience was winning the second most victories in Forge and Fire history, while mine was losing, but, still there was that shared thing of having that unique experience of being part of that big saga. Wonderful, wonderful guy. I'm, again, really happy that I met him. I've kept in touch with him a bit. Just terrific human being. I really hope that Kurt makes it out to Blade Show next year. I think he'd have a blast there. I'd love to be able to meet up with him and catch up with him again. Then of course, the Forge and Fire judges, getting to catch up with all of them, meet David Baker finally, who I found out the reason that he wasn't on my episode of Forge and Fire. Throw a little inside baseball here. I suspected when it started, when I didn't see Dave Baker on the judges panel, because, he's been on, I think, every episode other than the one that I was on, I suspected that there was going to be like a surprise 10th round challenge that was going to be a build off with Dave Baker, similar to the way they did one of the champions tournaments, or champion of champions type deals they did on Forged in Fire. That's what I expected. What it turned out was that he had unfortunately caught COVID, and he was isolating and being responsible and all of that. He also told me apparently he was a little bummed to find out that the episode he wasn't able to film for, that I had chosen the Folks to build, because he had been looking forward to that, to seeing that one in person. But yeah, terrific talk. Had a terrific talk with him. Of course, got to catch up with Jay Nielsen, Doug Marcaida, very briefly Ben Abbott. I really do want to sit down with Ben at some point, or at least get a decent, even if not sitting, have more of a conversation with him about our shared SCA experience, because he's also a Scadian. Master O'Toole, Master of the Laurel. He is, so yeah, that was great to get to catch up with those guys again, seeing so many amazing makers, so many amazing smiths, even some amazing manufacturers, people doing really creative stuff, getting to talk with a huge number of people, all sorts of really really fun, interesting people, everyone from martial artists to balisong enthusiasts to just people looking for hunting knives, all sorts of different people. Wonderful group there. Got a lot of wonderful feedback on my work. Made some great connections. Again, just phenomenal experience. I really, really hope that I can put together the resources to make it back this year. And a huge shout out to Paige Steinhardt for inviting me to join on the Epic booth. That was a terrific experience. Really, really looking forward to the next one. Hoping to get Bear out there for this next one, just so that he can, meet some of these people and make some of these connections and all of that. And also just because I think he'll have a blast there. Let's see. Let's talk a little bit about the martial arts side of things. Attended my first HEMA conference, the Iron Gate exhibition, the 10th anniversary Iron Gate exhibition, in fact. That was a really phenomenal experience. Got to fence in the longsword Group B category, which had, I believe, over 40 participants and made 14th. That was really, really great. Had some phenomenal opponents, some really great people there. Got to give a lecture on bladesmithing there. That was a lot of fun, and people seemed pretty engaged with. Hoping to do that again at some point. I did record it. I intended to put it up on this channel. Unfortunately, the footage is junk, and the my instructor slash schoolmate hasn't gotten me the wide angle that he took from it. I should probably poke him about that, get that up here. Anyway, yeah, it was a really, really fun experience. I'm really, I feel very grateful that I managed to find a HEMA club that is so much fun, and everybody has wonderful heads on their shoulders, and there's a lot of shared philosophy surrounding the period sources and period technique in that club that I went in with a lot of those philosophies. So yeah, wonderful group of people. Shout out to Forte Swordplay. Definitely going to put links in the description of this video. Try to get all of the different people and channels and smiths that I mentioned and all of that. Again, just phenomenal group, phenomenal people. Looking forward to more on the SCA front, the heavy list front. I made the Sweet 16 on 2 major Kingdom level tournaments this year. The Rattan Champs, or Kings and Queens Armored Combat Championship, and Crown Tournament. Both of them I made Sweet 16, and that was huge for me. I feel really, really satisfied with the way I'm growing as a fighter and a swordsman. Started putting on boxing gloves again for the first time, put up a little clip of that. in quite a few years. The last time I spent any time in a boxing gym, which was literally checking out a gym I was thinking about joining while I was living down in Attleboro, Mass, was, God, must have been 6 years ago now. And spent a day there. Actually had a great time. That was also around the same time that I started Heavy List, and I ended up sticking with the Heavy List because it was free, and I was out of a job at the time. That was also around the same time that I started my smithing journey, actually. I started spending more time in Bear's shop, started learning more, started, picking up the hammer here, doing some polishing for him. That's kind of how it all began. I think I've told the story of how my smithing journey began on this channel before, but I want to dig more into just the, you never know what's going to happen in so much, and life just comes down to luck. Anyway, that's some of the big highlights of the year. I will be right back. I'll either cut this next bit out or time lapse it, because I'm still a nicotine addict, and anyway, yeah, some really cool stuff this year, and before I get back to work, I'll show you what I'm working on here. So this rusty old thing is actually one of the pre-fire projects, the shop fire a couple of years ago now. I've been kind of going through and making and picking out stuff that wasn't actually in the shop when it went up, because I really don't trust anything that was in the shop physically. That quote-unquote survived, because that shop fire was hot enough that stuff was glowing, and then I got hit by the fire department with just, so it was functionally water quenched, which means it's probably all full of microfractures. But this was actually going to be my first attempt at doing a Buhert or a steel fighting longsword way back in the day, years ago now. And this took me weeks, if not months, to forge out. And now I can do one of these in an afternoon, which is kind of crazy to think about. But I'm actually going to take this up to a live longsword now, because some of the specs are a little bit off for Buhert. It's kind of kissing the edge, and I think once it's all ground, it would not hold up. I've just been working on I had set in some narrow fullers and turning those into some broad ass fullers on here. So yeah, that's working on here. Got some other stuff that I'm gonna touch on here in a bit, and we'll see what those are looking like as I get to them. So yeah, let me think. What else can I talk about here with kind of the year-end recap and all of that? Like I said, it's been quite a year. I mean, there's been some downs too. I've had a lot of car troubles. It costs a lot of money. That always sucks. But I have some wonderful people in my corner who've been able to help me out when I haven't been able to get everything done myself, and I'm very appreciative to all of them. I know some, not necessarily a lot of people that I was personally super close to, but some people that I knew and that were very close to people that I'm very close with, passed away this past year, which that always sucks. And one of my mom's dogs, who was 16, so he lived an amazing life. Little George, here's to you, bud. Howling away up in heaven, or whatever afterlife you believe dogs go to. Whether you're an all dogs go to heaven person, or he's causing chaos up in Valhalla, or join the cycle of reincarnation and all of that. Who knows? Yeah, I have my own beliefs on that. You can believe whatever you want. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. I think it's, like I said, I want to keep this mostly positive, but it is important to touch on some of the negative at times. I think that ignoring the negatives can lead to more problems down the line. Just like when you're crafting a blade, if you're crafting a blade and you ignore a crack, that leads to failure down the road. Yeah, that's such. As far as the new year goes, here we are at the dawn of 2024. I know I'm going to screw up writing down dates for a while. I constantly do that. Anyway, totally still December 2019, right? I jest, but yeah, it's been a few years. Anyway, I think my battery's running a little low here, so just want to say that, for 2024, some of my goals are I'd love to medal in a HEMA tournament. I'd be thrilled for that to happen. I would make the podium. I would really like to get back to boxing more formally. That is another just kind of physical fitness type goal. As far as the smithing goes, I actually want to get some of my my products my prototypes working on fully tested successfully and get some of my stuff being used in HEMA and Buhurt. That's a big goal of mine. I'd love to start assembling a Buhurt kit so I can start participating more actively in that sport instead of just, on the rare occasion that I can find some loaner gear. Shout out to, Brian Chabot, who has loaned me some of his kit in the past and allowed me to have the little bit of experience with Buhurt that I have had. Yeah, it's quite the journey. A lot of exciting stuff. There's some exciting things with Forte. Of course, I'm always looking for more SCA stuff. The next big thing on the calendar is, of course, the market day at Burka. If you happen to be in the Northeast, specifically the New England area, it's in Manchester, New Hampshire. It's a wonderful event. Amazing vending area. There's a real cool tournament that happens on Saturday there, the 3-hour-long bear pit, which is an exhausting crucible of a tournament, and also my first ever SCA tournament was the market day at Burka, so I always have a soft spot for that one. Aiming for the top 30 this year. Anyway, I don't remember exactly where I was last year. I should look that up at some point. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get some more work done here. Of course, returning to Blade Show is a big goal of mine for this coming year. I already talked about how much of an amazing time I had this past year, and yeah, actually, since I wanted to do some more work first, but first I'm going to go through a few other things that I'm working on here. This is my first attempt at a HEMA fetter that I'm working on. That one's coming along. Looking forward to getting that finished up and tested. If you're wondering why the tang is so proportionally short, you'll find out. I will explain that down the line. I already showed you that one. I got a Bowie knife here that I'm working on. Little Zeletsika. Let's go into my project cache here. This is a fun one that I'm working on. This is a sword from a particular manga that if you recognize that profile, then I appreciate you. This was a HEMA prototype that failed stress testing. I was an idiot and used the wrong punch oil. Kukri here, not the one that I was working on for the commission, but a Kukri nonetheless. Got a Pugio. This is a Buhurt prototype longsword that I've been working on. A little twisted high carbon Sanmai dagger that I should finish up sooner rather than later. And a Buhurt arming sword. So yeah, there's a lots of fun stuff. I've got other projects that are in the work that are back at Bear's place. And yeah, let me I come right up to the camera here and take a look at how much battery I actually have left. Ugh, that is getting low. So I'm going to keep going here and hopefully get at least one more chat with you guys before I have to call it off. I think I'm going to change gears for a second here because it's one of the things that I'm always working on multiple projects. I'm not one of those guys that, just zeroes in on one project start to finish the whole way through. I struggle with that. Again, very ADHD, even medicated. It's a lot easier for me to have multiple things to kind of bounce between to keep myself engaged and focused. And I think, that's something really important is learning your personal limitations and how you can work around those as opposed to trying to force yourself to do it a particular way that people say is quote unquote right. I think that's very important. I might do a whole video on that down the line. Just another one for the list of things that I want to get done. Yeah, so I'm going to start getting to work on this. All right, I think I'm going to give one last little talk to camera and then say my goodbyes because the phone is about to die. And yeah, I want to make sure that the video saves because I don't actually spend a fair amount of time filming here. Anyway, yeah, so a lot of cool stuff coming up. Had overall, I think 2023 was a solid year for me, and I look forward to what's to come in 2024. I hope everyone has a wonderful year. Wishing you all the best, and I hope to do more. Just a last little thing. I'm going to try to make it a thing to do some semi-regular live streams, specifically from my finish shop. Unfortunately, I can't really do it from the forge over at Bear's because the signal out there is awful until we can figure out like an outdoor Wi-Fi booster to get the Wi-Fi from his house out to the shop. That's unlikely to be a possibility, but I should be able to do some like right here in my little finish shop here. But anyway, I want to start doing that. I definitely want to do some more long form videos. I've got some ideas for some stuff. I mentioned it right at the start of the channel, but one of my things is that I am, especially with the way that I kind of bounce between projects constantly, and work on a bunch of stuff concurrently. I'm not a great person to do like tutorial videos or like, start to finish build videos in the traditional sense, but I do want to actually do some videos on like the very beginnings of smithing. Like here's what you need to get together if you want to start doing this. Like, and not the like barest of bare minimums, like here's a reasonable starter setup that you can get at a reasonable price that you can start producing some cool stuff on, and then go through a couple of things that I think are phenomenal starting projects for aspiring makers. That's something that's on the docket. Another one that is on the docket for me is I want to do a video talking about weapons and world building in fantasy. I want to talk, I have a couple of projects that are, I think, very valid at that. Anyone who consumes a lot of smithing content or knows anyone who smiths, I'm sure you see, or wields weaponry or anything. There's stuff like everyone's seen Neil Kamamura's video on, everyone's seen Neil Kamamura's video on, reacting to smithing scenes in various big Hollywood movies and how, from that, you get a lot of that from, people who actually practice various forms of swordsmanship and the way it's portrayed in cinema. I want to do some stuff on, again, like fantasy and bringing some root of reality to it without destroying the cinematic flair, because I think that that's often finding that balance between the fantasy of the film and not making it uncanny for people in the know is a really big thing, and actually a tough balance to pull off. So I want to hopefully add my little help to that. Also in the process, add some references for artists and choreographers to kind of get a better idea of some things. Some kind of do's and don'ts about blocking out like sword fighting scenes. Maybe I'll do one unarmed, but this is a more sword centric channel. So I think that that's more appropriate. If people really like it, maybe I'll do it. I want to do some more kind of experimental videos, like I did with the chainmail not long ago. That was really fun to do and was really fascinating to me. So I definitely want to do those. And to take this back to the fantasy thing, world building and weapons is something that I think would be a really cool video. Talk about looking at different designs and how you can look at like a fantasy culture and translate that into their weapon designs, especially for high fantasy. I think that would be a really fun video and something that I think I'm very passionate about and would love to dig into more. And again, we'll see. The other thing, I don't know if I'm actually going to get to this, but I want to try. I'm putting it out there so that if people have excitement about it, they can push me to do more of it. But I really want to start doing a podcast. I did one for a little while during lockdown, and I had a good time with it. But I'd love to do a kind of sword-centric podcast. Hey guys, sorry, the camera stopped recording when it hit 5%. So anyway, I just wanted to real quick say that I want to do that podcast, and I very much want to. I'm looking forward to doing more stuff in the new year. It's all very exciting to me, and I'm really excited about what's to come. I'm looking forward to the new things. I have a little gray in my beard. Oh wow, I'm starting to go gray. Anyway, that's what I get for being in my 30s. Anyway, it's been quite the year, and I hope everybody has a fun, prosperous, and happy new year. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. And until next time.